What's up, Internet? Robert Teagarden here. It is part 2, day 2 of WPPI. If you haven't catched it, I did a full review, first look, hands-on with the new Canon EOS M50. It's awesome. Check it out if you haven't already. But today I also got the chance to talk to Canon and a bunch of other people about some really great product offerings that they've got here at WPPI. Let's talk to Canon first again about the new speed light that they put out. This thing is insane. Let's see what they have to say. Guys, we're back with Brandon again, and we're talking about the new speed light that Canon has. And as you know, this really isn't my wheelhouse, so I roped in my partner, Damian Noble Andrews. We're gonna talk about this thing together, but Brandon, give us the what for. Why is this here?
Sure. So this is our new 470EX-AI bounce flash. It's the first model that has auto-intelligent bounce capabilities. You'll see it looks very, very similar to some of our other flashes that we have in our lineup, like our 430EX Mark III. The big difference here is that this is a flash that can actually determine your subject distance, your ceiling height distance, and give you the correct and accurate bounce angle to get proper lighting.
Wow.
Wherever you are.
Okay. So I didn't know anything about this up until 3 seconds ago, and you've definitely piqued my interest. So one of the things that messes us up all the time with old school stuff is the fact that the flash is a little confused by other objects close to it, ceiling heights, like you said, you know, backlighting situations. So tell me more. I'm very curious at this point.
Sure. So what you're actually able to do here is, depending on what kind of experience you want, think about that entry-level user or even somebody that's more of an enthusiast. Not everybody shoots flash. Think about that 80D user, the 6D Mark II user. What you're able to do is, if you want to have more auto experience, we have full auto AI bounce. And in that situation, on my back dial right here, I'll have that AI bounce button. I can actually go and press that blue button, and it'll actually determine subject distance. It determines the height distance. Unfortunately, we have black ceilings and they're about 40 feet high. This can do a max ceiling reading of about 23 feet.
Wow.
And what it'll do is it'll determine the correct angle for that particular ceiling height. From there, it remembers that particular ceiling height location and the actual angle. And when you go and you change the camera orientation, you double tap that shutter, it'll restore that angle.
Johnny 5 is alive!
I know, right?
So as I rotate around, you can imagine going from landscape to portrait orientation all day long. It's going to save you some time.
That's great.
Yeah. That's amazing.
That's fantastic.
So depending on if you're a more experienced shooter, you might have an idea as far as what creative lighting you want to go and actually shape.
Right.
We have a semi-auto mode, which is your S on the back. In semi-auto, I can very easily pick and choose my correct angle. I'll press that angle set button on the side, which you can see right there.
Yep.
And once I do that, it'll restore that angle no matter where you are.
That's fantastic. That's amazing.
Wow.
Wow. I'm thoroughly impressed by this flash. What about fully manual? Can I just move wherever I want?
Yep. So we have a certain mode called 0 degrees. For that particular user that's starting out, anytime that you select 0 degrees, it's going to instantly come back down. So for that user that's pretty much looking for on-camera flash, direct, think about that fill flash application, maybe doing high-speed sync outdoors, this is perfect for them. When you go into your sub-menu and you select personal function 9, manual bounce, as you can see right there, at that point, I have a fully manual bounce flash capable.
That's amazing. That's awesome.
So wherever I go, it's going to go and stay where I put it.
Okay, now you piqued my ears a little bit. You said high-speed sync outside, right?
Yep.
So talk to me about the capabilities of what this flash can do.
Sure. So in your full-on automatic modes, you can go and pretty much shoot this in ETTL, you can shoot this in manual, change all your settings like you normally would. You can do first curtain, second curtain, or high-speed sync. The things that you can't do when you're in full auto would be pull out your bounce card right here, or your white panel rather. Ideally, you wouldn't be able to go and zoom your flash because the flash is making its own measurements.
Right.
And overall, if you want to use our bounce adapter, which we have included, which is that that translucent white cover that's on top, it'll automatically go vertical. So what that's doing is trying to give you a softer light, bounce it off the ceiling right above you, close to your subject in that situation, to diffuse the lighting.
Okay. Fantastic. And what's the maximum sync speed with it?
Sure. So that's going to be dependent on whatever camera you're using.
Okay.
So if I'm using a 1D, it's 1/250th. If I'm going anywhere, it's either like 5D, I've got 1/200th.
Right.
But for an application like this, having the high-speed sync capability built into the flash, you can go all the way up as much as you want, really.
Fantastic. Awesome. That's great.
Yeah.
I'm thoroughly impressed.
Yeah,
There's so many people mess this up. Like, they don't understand the angle that they're bouncing the light off of. And I think this, for that newer photographer, that prosumer kind of level, gets to test it, and once they get it locked in, they can exhale and not have to worry about it anymore. Right. That's fantastic.
You know, personally, numbers scare me like spiders. I'm bad at math, that's why I'm a photographer. But what this is doing is pretty much some simple math. You're getting your subject distance, you're getting your ceiling height distance, and then it's Pythagorean theorem. You're pretty much getting the two angles, and it's figuring out the rest for you. So
it's incredible.
Instead of somebody that's starting out, trying to learn Flash, you know, thinking about, you know, you're almost playing pool with light and bouncing it off, you know, the bumpers. You're getting a product that's doing all the thinking for you. You're getting a more automatic experience and overall a better experience for those users.
That's fantastic. I've got one question to that. When you talked about subject to flash distance as well as ceiling distance, what happens if I crouch down for a shot, or I climb up a little bit higher? Does the flash understand what I'm doing?
Yep. So when you're making measurements, obviously photography, you have fluid situations.
Yep.
In those situations, if you're in full auto, right? If I make my subject distance and it's 5 feet away, if that subject moves 10 to 15 feet away, you should ideally make a new reading.
Okay.
Because you're changing that angle.
Right.
Flash will be able to predict that once you hit that AI bounce button.
Right.
Or on a 60 Mark II or SL2, it's actually built into the depth of field button.
Cool.
So if I want to go and do that again, not touching that back, it'll actually just go off with that depth of field button.
Communication.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Wow.
I'm thoroughly impressed.
Yeah, well done.
And when can we expect this to hit the market?
It's roughly going to be in about April, in that time period.
But I get to take one home today, right?
You can talk to me afterwards. But it'll be roughly at that $399 price range.
Wow. Wow.
That's great.
Yeah. So we're here with Rebecca at Canon, and for the last couple of days I've been hearing a lot of stuff about Canon's CPS program, a little more than I have normally. Tell me, what is CPS and why do I care?
CPS is Canon Professional Services. It's really a program for professional photographers and image makers, and we really help them get their job done.
Okay.
If they ever have any issues with their equipment, we provide expedited repair times, getting their gear back. We even loan them gear if anything goes wrong with them, and if there's a circumstance where something goes down, somebody drops a lens, we got their back.
So you mentioned expedited services. What does that mean? How fast am I actually getting my gear back if I'm a
It's
CPS
actually
member?
pretty unbelievable. If you're at our platinum level,
Right.
or platinum CPS level, it's 1 day turnaround.
Wow.
We just announced that a couple of months ago.
Awesome.
If you're at our gold level, it's only 2 days turnaround. So you're really not without your equipment for very long.
Of course.
And like I said, if need be, while we're repairing the equipment, we can send out loaners.
And so you said gold and platinum. Is there another level as well?
There are 2 other levels. There's silver, and then there's also a cinema level, which is for cinema equipment specifically.
Awesome. What are the price points associated to some of those levels?
Well, first of all, the way that you qualify for different levels is based on the gear that you own.
Okay.
So on our website, you can actually enter in all of the different pieces of equipment you have, and those will add up to different points, and will put you in different levels.
Got it.
So the silver level is complimentary. The gold level is $100 a year.
Awesome.
Platinum is $300 a year, and then the cinema level is $1,000 a year.
Okay. So Rebecca, sometimes we get into a pinch and I just want to pick up the phone. I want to talk to a human being.
Right.
Do I have that option?
You absolutely do. As a CPS member, you have a dedicated support line that's 24 hours, US based.
I love that.
So you're not waiting on hold, through different channels of non-humans.
Yes. So you guys look a nominal investment for what you're actually getting for this service and such an expedited turnaround time. This stuff is expensive, and we want to make sure that it's well protected, and we're happy that Canon is giving us this ability to do so in such quick turnaround time for, when you amortize it out, really affordable prices. So Rebecca, thank you so much for your time.
You're so welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Pretty amazing stuff on that speedlight, right? I mean, the way that it moves all around, it's like its own robot. Incredible. Another thing that happened late last night is that Sony announced the A7 Mark III. I never knew that a place like WPPI would have this type of product offering. It's almost getting into the lines of like an NAB. Unbelievable stuff. I got a chance to sit down with Sony and talk to them about the A7 Mark III. Let's take a look and see what they had to say. Guys, we've got Eldin here at Sony, and they made a massive announcement last night with the Sony A7 Mark III. Eldin, tell me about this camera. Who's it for, and why is it such a big deal?
Alright, it's a really amazing camera. So obviously the Mark III denotes it's the third in the line of the A7 series, and as you know we have the A7, the 7R and the 7S. S stands for sensitivity, the R stands for resolution, the one's 12 megapixels super sensitivity, the R is 42 megapixels super resolution. Beautiful. This is that sweet spot in the middle. Right? So this is that 24 megapixel camera. We call it our basic entry-level camera for full frame, or basic full frame camera, but it's anything but basic. It shoots at 10 frames a second in either silent mode or in shutter mode, mechanical shutter mode. It's a new sensor, it utilizes a new processing BRZX processing engine. Beautiful. So the high-speed transfer of the camera is increased by 1.8 times. That allows us for the fast transfer speed and the high-speed shooting, as well as enhancing the focus system. Now we haven't really settled for anything on this. We've gone really crazy. We've taken the A9 focusing system and stuck on this A7 Mark III. So this is 693 phase detection AF points, as well as 425 contrast points. And in addition to that, the new algorithm allows the camera to predict focus, and it has a whole lot of other effects in terms of AF. So your IAF, which is something that a lot of people are raving about in the Sony system, because it's a live view system, you can pinpoint a person's eye. If they turn their head left or right, it'll jump from to the closest eye if you're going to show it depth of field. And now it can also track through a three-dimensional space and continuous AF using eye autofocus.
So, Eldin, I would love to hear more about the video capability of this A7 Mark III.
Absolutely. So, actually an amazing video capabilities on this. Obviously it shoots 4K because most Sony cameras shoot 4K. However, it uses the full frame sensor. What it does, basically no line skipping, no pixel binning of the sensor. We're basically reading every single pixel of the sensor. Because it's 24 megapixels, it's actually going to be 6K that comes off the sensor. Oversamples that and then saves it as a 4K image. So that's at 24 and 30p. As well as HD up to 120p.
So 1080p up to 120.
1080p up to 120.
There you go. Keep it in line. That's great.
A bunch of other little features I want to touch on quickly.
Please do.
Obviously the OLED viewfinder and the LCD screen. It can tilt down and it can tilt up about a little past 90 degrees.
So we do a fair amount of shooting with gimbals, with the Sony mirrorless, and some of the things that we get fairly frustrated with is the lack of full articulation with the screen, and it's the same in this one as well. Are we going to be seeing something that fully articulates in the screen anytime soon? Maybe A7S Mark III, or?
You know, it's a great question, and actually it's something that I've always been asking engineers about as well, because it's something that I really enjoy. So some of the cameras that we have without a viewfinder, like the A5000 series, has the LCD that can flip all the way over. A lot of videographers, it's a really good camera for them because you don't actually need the full frame to get good 4K. Most cinema cameras are Super 35, which is the same width as the APS-C sensor. Very similar width, right? So that seems to be a solution for now. The other thing that we do have, and I understand that we don't have the full articulation out on the outside, obviously with the viewfinder at the top, it's not going to flip all the way down. I know some cameras flip down to the bottom, which doesn't really make sense if it's on a tripod. So the only option is out to the side. Or what you can do is the live view on the camera utilizing a mobile device. So I know a lot of people as a solution are actually pairing their camera with a mobile device and then mounting that somewhere where they can actually see what's going on. And then you can control it that way as well, which is really good.
We use a small cage rig sometimes, and we'll put an iPhone or an Android device on the top of that thing, and it works well for us. You know, obviously we'd want that there on the camera itself, but there's a solution for it too. You know?
And it's good that you guys are asked, because the more we ask, the more engineers to respond. And that's something that Sony's been excellent at listening to. We listen to our consumers. One of the things that we've been listening very well about is putting dual card slots in.
There we go.
You'll notice the A9, A7R3, and now the A7 Mark III all have dual card slots. And this is obviously for demand from customers. In addition to that longer battery life, that was the other gripe that we had before.
I mean, so different battery than what I've had for the other A7 series.
So this is the new Z battery. This we launched when we launched the A9, and this also is on the A7R Mark III. It is now makes the A7 Mark III the longest lasting mirrorless camera in the market.
Great. Dean was a wealth of knowledge, and we spent the next several minutes talking about all the features the A7 Mark III has to offer. He told me that the battery is capable of over 700 shots. He told me the new toggle switch that they've incorporated into the back, as well as telling me about the 93% screen coverage for autofocus. We talked about the new 24-105 f4 lens that they're suggesting you pair with this camera, as well as the new flash, the HVLR60RM, which is capable of up to 10 frame a second bursts. The A7 Mark III is available for pre-order now, and is shipping April 10th. You can pick one up for just under $2,000. Pretty great stuff from Sony there. No A7S Mark III, but maybe NAB. We still have some time. So that's it, guys. Canon's new speed light. We've got the Sony A7 Mark III, and we have Canon's customer care protection. Pretty great stuff today. I actually have to end up getting out of here tonight and have to miss the last day of WPPI. But until next time, this is Robert Teagarden. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, give it a subscription, and maybe share it with anyone that's got a camera, because there's a lot of really great stuff that's coming out here today at WPPI. Until next time, this is Robert Teagarden, and I'm out of here. We'll see ya.